Ladies and gentlemen, would you put your hands together for the combined bands of the Royal Australian Navy, Army and Air Force. In 1980, one of Australia's top singer-songwriters made a sensational television debut in a series called Against the Wind. The series told the story of the convict era, the early days of Australia's history, and it became one of the most successful Australian dramas ever. Now a recognised actor, star of Jesus Christ Superstar, a great stage performer with over 20 hit records to his credit. Would you give a VFL Grand Final welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Mr. John English.
Jeez. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the premier sporting event in Australia. We are going to 7 countries, 30 million people are watching. The stars of this segment are you and you. When we get to the point where you got to wave them, wave anything you're holding, big and loud, and sing along, except for the blokes over by the toilet block. Once a jolly swag man came by a billabong under the shade of a coolabah tree, and he sang and he watched and waited till his billy boy, and you come a waltzing Matilda with me. Waltzing Matilda, waltzing Matilda, you come a waltzing Matilda with me. And he sang as he watched and waited while his billy boy, you come a waltzing Matilda with me. Down came a drum buck to drink at the billabong. Jumped the swagman and grabbed him with glee, and he sang as he slowed that drum buck in his tucker bag. You come a waltzing Matilda with me. For it now. Waltzing Matilda, waltzing Matilda, you come a waltzing Matilda with me. And he sang as he slowed that drum buck in his tucker bag. You come a waltzing Matilda. Come in, let's come on. Waltzing Matilda, waltzing Matilda, you come a waltzing Matilda with me. And he sang as he slowed that drum buck in his tucker bag. You come a waltzing Matilda.
Congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, John English. We now await the arrival of the 2 teams and the umpires for today, who, as I mentioned, are Robinson and Dye. Ladies and gentlemen, 1981 being the year of the disabled, the Victorian Football League thought it would be fitting that a former VFL Grand Final umpire had the right and the honour to toss the coin for this year's Grand Final. That umpire is, of course, Don Jolly, now confined to a wheelchair, but I'm sure many of you here today would recall the magnificent job he did in umpiring another Carlton Collingwood Grand Final back in 1970. Would you welcome Don Jolly?
Interchange, who will they be? Bordelotto will be one, and Marcoux, by the look of it, they're angling over. Brewer is interchange, thought so. Davis full forward.
Harms is in defence. Full back on Davis.
Bordelotto, Marcoux, and Lovell and Brewer. Sorry, Tim.
Right.
Allen's on half-back, has selected.
Lovell and Brewer?
Yep, interchange.
Swan's on a wing and Glasgow centre half forward.
Peter Moore's down there. Who's on him? Howell got the job on Moore by the look of it. Who's going first? Have we worked it out, Trevor?
You go from that edge.
Usually left to right. Doesn't bother me.
Davis centre half forward, no? Half forward point. Good luck, chaps, everyone.
Starts the game. Moore having won the toss, and Collingwood going left to right. Out of the centre, Sheldon. Kick didn't go 10 metres, picked up by Dacos, but the whistle's gone from umpire Robinson, and it's going to be a Collingwood free kick to go from half-back.
Allen.
Up towards half forward for the Magpies. Davis. Dool is the player who's picked up the Collingwood sharpshooter. He wins the loose ball load as Davis. Now Dool kept it in front of him for a moment. Fiercely contested, and umpire Dye, doing his first senior grand final, comes in to ball it up again.
Collingwood's half forward line about 75 metres out from goal. Fitzpatrick easily, Dacos nearly, traps it nicely. In towards centre half forward. No, it's going up to Glascott, who really dropped the sitter. In fact, it went right through his outstretched arms, and it's out of bounds deep on Collingwood's half forward line.
Breeze virtually across the ground. No help to either team at this stage. Fitzpatrick in front wins a beautiful tap. High kick by Glascott to centre wing. Bounces in no man's land. Perry for Collingwood. The handball back, but the ball out of play first. And we'll have a throw in at centre wing.
So no score on the board. A minute and a half gone. And these fiercest of rivals in Collingwood and Carlton. The 1981 Grand Final, they met 2 years ago, and they met in that very famous one 11 years ago. They've laid Carlton in the ascendancy. In fact, Collingwood haven't won since very early in the century in a Grand Final against Carlton. Seems like nearly 100 years ago that they won their last flag, and Carlton get a free kick out of that scrimmage. Greg Wells, who used to be based here at the Melbourne Cricket Ground, but went to Carlton. Obviously hoping to play in a successful side, and he has his chance today. He gets a 15-metre penalty, which brings him up towards centre wing, and now Wells puts Carlton into their attacking half, but the umpire says come back and kick over the mark, which he'll now do.
Wells looking for McClure, picking the punch from behind, raving off at his Barham. Ashman in there, close to the ground like he loves to be. Oh, King's gone in with a great side bump. Carlton player's gone down, picked up by Stewart. Looking for Moore and Howell. And Moore with his first grab at the ball, but he doesn't get anywhere near it. He was pushed off balance. It goes to Peter Moore again. On to Ray Shaw. In towards centre half forward. Juggles the ball and he's caught. Penalised. Good tackle by Carlton. Out umpire gave him a couple of chances. English, the advantage hand pass on to Wells, and he's looking for McClure and finds him between wing and half forward.
Spectacular one-hander by Mark McClure just forward of the wing. Busasto at the back of the pack. 1 and 2 grabs, and the mark to Peter Busasto inside half forward, well within kicking distance, about 35 to 40 metres from goal. Peter Busasto in his first year in VFL football has been a star for Carlton. Their leading goal kicker for the season. Should get the first score of the grand final, but he's offline, and the score is only a behind. And should have made more of it from there.
Strong mark, though, by Busasto at the same time, and well, he should have capitalised. Good sign for the Blues. They need him firing. First score on the board. At the 3.5-minute mark, McCormack to the outer side. Kink up. Under the ball, Sheldon rove the pack, but it's a Collingwood free kick. Apparently Kink was pushed. In fact, it's Williams who's going to get the free kick on the half-back line for the Magpies. Good long kick. He's an awkward kick, but does it pretty well up towards Kink, who's on the half-forward line. McConville in with a nice little hit. Stewart squeezing the hand pass out, but over the line, so the throw-in left half-forward flank for Collingwood.
And Craig Stewart for Collingwood showing at this early stage certainly more mobility than last week. Wells actually to himself, and he taps the ball on, and it's out of bounds on that far side. All the play so far on the far side of the ground. A huge crowd at the MCG. 4 minutes of play in the first quarter. Carlton 1 behind. The Magpies yet to score. Fitzpatrick, but I think it was hard to tell he got the best of that, but it goes to Dacos. Good shepherding behind play allows Dacos to get a kick in towards Ray Shaw, but he's about third in line, and it's Dool. A 15-metre penalty against Ray Shaw.
Good kick was the offender there.
Dool from halfback towards the centre of the ground. Not a well-directed kick. A little bad bounce there for Byrne at the back. McClure pulled off his kick. It comes back to Ray Byrne. Bounce luckily for the Collingwood defender. Is passed towards half-forward. Davis a mile in the clear. He has more in the pocket. Running out of room, Craig Davis. Took the ball out, and the boundary umpire thought about it for a while and then signalled out as Peter Moore kicks for goal. But it's out of bounds, deep in the forward pocket. And not a good pass out of defence by Bruce Dool then.
Boundary umpire stranded a long way behind. They can't help it because the game just moves so quickly. Moore doing some ruck work, but has lined up in the forward pocket, jumped into Fitzpatrick's back. Not quite jumped into it, but certainly gave him a hefty old nudge, and the Carlton skipper an obvious free kick. Good long floating punt to the wing. McClure from behind Picken. Got hands on it. Allen roves the pack nicely for Collingwood to Williams. Second possession already onto Byrne, the former Carlton player. Just got his kick. It was lucky, but he's found Irwin up towards half forward for Collingwood. Too far out to score. Bit of a wobbly old kick, all Carlton, and the skipper takes the mark.
Fitzpatrick, back pocket. Oh, it's going to Barham. Bad disposal by Fitzpatrick. Moore dropping back with Stewart. He might go short to Atkin over top of the hand pass. He thought about it. Gets his pace away from Malin. Runs into half forward. Down towards Peter Moore this time. The big fella goes up. Williams off the pack. A snap. A goal. Collingwood's first after 6 minutes of play. Great play by Mark Williams. Stayed behind the pack or to the side of it. An opportunist. Loves the ball off the pack and put it through for Collingwood's first after 6 minutes in the first quarter.
That's scintillating stuff too from Ricky Barham, just forward of the wing. Bounce by umpire Robinson. Fitzpatrick doing well through the hands of Picken. Picked up by Toomey. Hurried left footer. McConville for Carlton. About 10 metres back from the centre circle. The kick towards centre half forward. Sheldon at the back. Had a big chance then. Harms tries to tap out to Sheldon. He's bumped aside. Cooper goes in for it, number 10. Umpire Dye calls for it and will ball it up. Carlton's half forward.
7 minutes gone. Collingwood with the first goal of the match on the board. Carlton are behind. Dacos. Did he have possession or not? Yes, he did. He's penalised because he was in possession and Didn't dispose of it by kicking or hand passing. McClure in from the side. Johnston snap is offline. Carlton second behind, and Collingwood leading by 4 points.
The Magpies by 6 points to 2. A fairly quiet start to the grand final, the first 7 or 8 minutes. McCormick. Kick, and Collingwood chance there. McClure, play on the call. Irwin, smothered by McClure. He's got the run at the ball, pressure. Byrne coming from the front. Buckley is there too. Over the top of Irwin. A free kick to Collingwood at centre half back. And it would seem Irwin got one in the back and one in the front as well. That's his third kick, half back.
Comes towards the members' side. Lead by Stewart. Good punch by Perovic. The ball out of play at Carlton's half forward. And Val Perovic going all the way with Craig Stewart to contest with him and go the spoil. Fitzpatrick and Atkin. Tony Shaw for Collingwood. Lightning hand pass to Barham. Behind centre wing. Long kick up towards half forward. Kink at the back. Good mark, McConville.
Under a lot of pressure. He couldn't afford to make a mistake then, but did it well. He was on a half-back flank when Carlton beat Collingwood in the equivalent game in 79. He's lined up there again. Up goes Picken. Oh, Wells went through pretty strongly. Barham, who's burning on the members' wing, to Picken up to half forward. Davis and Dahl from behind. Pretty hard to mark over Bruce Dahl, who receives from McConville. Crowd yelled throw, but the umpire was on hand. Oh, Wells and Fitzpatrick almost muffed it between themselves. Two seasoned campaigners, and Big Fitz, he gives it to Glasgow. Up to half forward with a shocking kick. Barham is on fire.
Great gully catch by Ricky Barham. Third kick coming up. On to Rayburn, over the top to Irwin. He thought about it. Peter Moore, Stewart, big marking power for Collingwood. Perovic off the hands, kick, doesn't even look, fires and misses. Collingwood's first behind. The Magpies are 1-1. Carlton 2 behinds, 2 points. Nearly 10 minutes in the grand final first quarter.
What a mighty left foot kick from a standing start.
English taking the kick with Southby not lining up on the Carlton team. Fitzpatrick knocks to the back, gathered by Wells. Has waited 13 years for a chance of a senior flag. Up to half forward, off the hands of Ashman, taken away by Picken. Wobbly old kick by Picken. All Collingwood here though. Awkward half volley to Atkin. Barham's burning. Tony Shaw onto Atkin. Well done. Stuart Atkin right to the goal square. Moore's there. Spoiled by Howell. Moore tries to keep it in. Plays for a push. It'll be a throw-in.
Collingwood skipper, despite speculation, has, or to the contrary, has lined up in the Collingwood 18, obviously. In a forward pocket, doing the ruck work when the ball's down there. In goes Shaw with Hunter. Hunter's barely made a mistake all year. Finally a whistle and a ball up, only 20 metres out from Collingwood's goal front. Collingwood 1-1-7, Carlton 2 behinds, and 11 minutes gone in the first term. Mackay doing the ruck work for Carlton against Moore. Tony Shaw on his wrong boot, but is well shepherded. Great smothering by the Blues, forcing a throw-in.
Right forward pocket, main scoreboard end. 11 minutes in the first quarter. The Magpies 7, Carlton 2. Moore and Stewart with Howell. Dacos and Tony Shaw the crumbs. There's Stewart has a shot, and it's offline and through from behind. And Howell and Peter Moore having a little bit of a box on. I think it was mainly Howell the protagonist there.
Bruce Doull takes the kick in. Oh, Williams, what a great mark. Mark Williams at left half forward. Short pass, lead by Davis, couldn't quite get there. It spills to the back to Dacos. He's dangerous even from here. And it bounces up for English. He rushes it through for a behind.
Collingwood with the bulk of the possession of the ball so far. English goes down the middle. A good kick for Carlton. Fitzpatrick in front against Atkin. Knocks, but no one there to receive. Cooper up to half forward. Buckley, paddle to Perovic. Open space on centre wing, and Sheldon should certainly win the race if the ball stays in for him. It doesn't, so throw in through centre wing position.
13 minutes first quarter, far side wing. Fitzpatrick as Atkin falls down. In fact, the umpire says he was shepherded down. Gets the free hand pass onto Ray Shaw. Down looking for Stewart. Dacos doing a bit of illegal shepherding off the pack. A chance for Stewart. In towards Tony Shaw. He'll have to go for more. It's in the pocket. English coming in with Tony Shaw. Shaw paddling, looking for a bit of support. Gets it back to Howell. Howell's in trouble. Grabbed high by Peter Moore. Dool goes over the line. And for about the 4th time in the last 5 minutes, it's out of bounds in that right forward pocket.
Collingwood 1-3. Carlton 2 behinds. And Collingwood in attack. Moore comes from the back of Howell. Knocks to the front. Perovic there for Carlton. Could be danger here. Davis, a quick hand pass back to Barham, who saw Dool coming, and Dool takes it away from him. Up to McClure on grandstand wing. Kind bounce. Left foot is a bad kick off the side of the boot, and just bounces in the field of play to go out at half forward. But gee whiz, Ricky Barham saw Dool in his sights.
Poor old boundary umpire on this member's side is covering more ground than those often quoted early explorers. Once again, about 80 metres behind play. Mackay doing the ruck work for Carlton. Got a good clean knock too to McConville, who must be tagging Kink, I think, having a run on the ball over the line. So a throw in left forward pocket for Carlton. The Blues, one of their rare sorties forward, and it's only about 25 or 30 metres around from the behind post. The veteran Mackay against the rookie Atkin in ruck. Atkin climbed high, and a beautiful knock to Ray Shaw was perfect. Over half back, Fitzpatrick, strong mark, only had Dacos to beat. The hand pass wasn't so hot to Hunter, and he kicks as a result under pressure, straight to Kink, and away goes the big fellow.
He draws Irwin, good play Kink. Irwin's got a paddock, a good bounce. Oh, it goes to the sideways. Harms, well, he came in from the side. It was deemed legal. Hand pass to Perovic from English. What did Fitzpatrick? Bususto. Bususto 65 metres out from goal. A high one looking for McClure, doubling back. Picken doubling back too, and takes a strong mark. Good mark, Willie Picken in defence. Collingwood 1-3, Carlton 2 behinds. 15 minutes in the first quarter of the grand final. Picken's third kick.
Well, not a good kick by Picken, but helped to the back of the pack. Williams contesting with Sheldon, close to the boundary line. Breeze helping the ball towards the outer side often, and that ball had gone out before Sheldon could handball back, and will have a throw in. Carlton's right half forward. Collingwood are 1-3. Carlton 2 behinds. 15 minutes gone in the first quarter.
Fitzpatrick gets the knock this time. Strong tackling, down goes Wells, penalised, Rayburn. That's the modern day game. Great tackling onto Dacos. Mighty kick, number 4, up to centre wing. Stewart and Perovic. Perovic certainly taken the honours so far. Out on the full. Well, that was bad luck for Perovic. Not much he could have done about that. He was in there contesting. Stewart takes the free.
Up towards Davis in front of Dool. The free kick will be paid. If not the mark, he's paying the mark. A good 70 metres out for goal, and Moore calling for it high. Now Tony Shaw's going to drop a bit short, so Kink goes in. Ray Shaw comes in, shows a lot of courage. Screws the ball back in towards full forward. It's a floater, but it's offline and through for a behind to Collingwood. Their fourth. Collingwood 1-4-10. Carlton 2 behinds, 2 points. Ray Shaw.
Dool kicks in again. Finds Hunter unmarked on the grandstand side. Oh, Ray Shaw used his arms to get around Howell. Up towards centre wing. Ashman hasn't had a kick yet, and you wonder how fit he is. First game for a month. Off hands to Dacos, off the side of the boot. Forward pocket. Davis is there, and marks just inside the line.
Just about within scoring distance for Craig Davis. Oh, he's really cribbed on the mark. The umpire's called play on because he cribbed so far, and as a result, the kick under pressure. Kink rove the pack. Stewart over the head. Offline. Collingwood many chances. They're dominating the first quarter thus far, but they just lead 11-2, and that margin could be somewhat more handsome.
English, Hunter leads, Dacos near him. That's his target, although it's going a bit wide. Yes, Hunter. Half back flank. He made a sustained lead for that. McClure leads now. Picken, great duels they've had over the years. McClure up too early, infringes on Picken, free kick. Olympic stand wing is Barham comes in and offers his threepence worth. And Collingwood nearly lost it. A long kick by Picken. Perovic behind the pack. A front-on knock-on. English coming through by Kink. Hand pass. Oh, yes, they're under pressure, Carlton. Wayshaw can't get a hand pass away. Picked up by Kink. A little one over towards Toomey. Toomey! Oh, Rayburn. Oh. I thought Toomey had first purchase on that. In fact, the umpire has seen it that way.
I often wonder about that. Two players marking the ball. If they were in different coloured Guernseys, I don't think it'd be paid to either of them.
And David Toomey, the half-back flanker who won the ABC Goal of the Year. At centre-half forward, 35 metres out from goal. The Magpies inaccurate so far, 1 goal 5. And they're inaccurate again, 1 goal 6 to Collingwood.
Oh, Moore and Howell are at it
12
again.
points to 2.
This has been going on since before the first bounce, and umpire Robinson sees fit to intervene.
Bruce Doull towards the outer side, slightly favouring the outer side, almost straight up the ground. Umpire Ian Robinson having a very close look at Howell and Moore as the ball has to go back to Bruce Doull for another kick-in. And many thought that Collingwood may have to use vigour against Carlton to put the Blues off their free-running game. We've seen Rene Kink use his body a couple of times, but really not much in it yet as Doull kicks towards the outer side once more. It comes down to Fitzpatrick, who's playing a great game without the worry of Moore on the ball. High kick towards centre wing, Toomey up high, paddle forward by Harms. Intercepted here by Jim Buckley. Short pass to centre half forward, Mackay in front, good mark.
15 metres, a very vital one too. Very vital, brings him to within 35 metres of goal.
Against Peter McCormack. And Carlton, who are still looking for their first goal. Remember 2 years ago in the grand final, they went halfway through the second quarter before they got one. 19 and a half minutes gone. Mackay for goal, and he's put it through.
And the Swan, as he's known, getting Carlton onto the major side of the scoreboard. A very handy goal after being pretty well outplayed for the first 20 minutes or so of this first term. Kicked 5 in the first semi-final against Collingwood at this ground last year in a lone-handed performance up forward, and on a dry day as it is today, before this match is out, he could be a very vital player in the Carlton lineup. "20 minutes gone now in the first term, and Carlton lucky to be within 4 points after a Collingwood-dominated start. Tony Shaw puts the Woods into attack, bounces somewhat erratically. Doull, too much for Dacos there with Perovic to assist, and Doull the kick. McConville, you'll need courage. Taken well by Cooper. Up to half forward. Perovic, Doull from behind the spoil. Ashman not playing with confidence. Malin now. Looks for a free, doesn't get it, so he gets the kick to open space to Glasgow. Big chance now for the Blues. He's a speedster, this fellow. That could be dicey to Harms. Fakes it, now gives it to Glasgow. He could almost score from out on the half-forward flank. It's long, not long enough. Bouncing across the line, throwing.
The best forward sortie by Carlton in the game so far. 21 minutes first quarter, Collingwood 1-6, Carlton 1-2. Mackay in ruck with Atkin. Atkin down to McCormack. That was on from the start. McCormack in front of the pack. Ashman. Taylor. Ashman a bit too toey for Taylor. Good smother by Barham coming in off the boot of Malin.
Marcoux warming up on the sidelines, which is interesting. I wonder if Ashman could be the man who's taken off.
Fitzpatrick contests with Atkin and wins clearly, but can't get it to a Carlton small man. Picked up by Taylor on centre wing, half volley for Stewart. Play on was the umpire, the right decision. Tony Shaw, a high kick to centre half forward. Dacos and Hunter. English the spoil. Down to Kink in front. Barham offers the lead. Good football, Ricky Barham. Pops it over the head of Doull. More one-on-one, but it's over their heads for a goal by Ricky Barham. Best man on the ground so far, clearly Ricky Barham.
Pretty hard to criticise them after they do that. But as Barham streaked away from the pack, Craig Davis made great position on the forward line. There he is in the top left-hand side of the screen. But Barham, with tremendous confidence, blazed away. And Collingwood's second goal the result. So the Woods by 10 points. but they could be further ahead. Fitzpatrick, a good effective knock, but Collingwood are getting the ball out of the centre, and they've done it very well again. Davis and Doull. Doull always looks to have so much time to spare. Pops the pass over to Marcoux, who has just come on. And that was superbly done by Doull. Kept it in play, only a metre from the line. Oh, Marcoux with cold feet. Taylor the interceptor. Marcoux wins it with good persistence. Bad fumble by Malin. Tony Shaw. Another fumble. Probably even in the first 25 minutes, the nerves still affecting players.
Ashman off the ground for Carlton. Marcoux on. Now Stewart and Fitzpatrick on Collingwood's half-forward line. Williams looking for it. Good tap by Stewart. It gains Collingwood about 20 metres. King puts his body in, but the ball just trickles over, and it's out of bounds. About 60 metres away from Collingwood's goal, in front of the member stand here at the MCG. Stewart, but Fitzpatrick wins down to Marcoux. Has a couple of bites at it, but kicks the ball cleanly up towards Harms. Punched away by Cooper. A little nudge in the back against Cooper. Harms free kick on the defensive side of the centre. Collingwood 18, Carlton 8.
I always think Wayne Harms looks a much better player when he's in attack. Mackay at the back almost held on to that run. Running onto it beautifully, Bazasto, an electric player, going with him Toomey and helping out Allen. Over the top to McCormack, almost running out of room. Along the ground goes the kick. Hunter well up from defence. Well played, Ken Hunter. Ball over the line now, and we'll have a boundary throw-in.
Almost in time on in the first term. We're into the 25th minute. Down to Marcoux, who's been right in the thick of it. Mackay caught under the ball. McClure up with him. No one to rove, though, for the Blues. McClure pretty well tackled. Picken dropping short of the centre. All Carlton and Harms chipping in. Had his first kick a moment ago and can now take his second from 4 to the centre line. Kicks a long, long way. McClure the target. Picken front position. McClure, yes! Supermark. Pardon the pun. 30 metres out, almost directly in front. And a confidence booster, that for sure, for McClure. Needs a bit of a rev up, perhaps. Just 1 or 2 under his belt to give him a bit of a surge. It's good enough. The Blues second. Collingwood leading by 4 points. And we're a few seconds into time on in the first quarter of the 81 Grand Final. Harms driving it long from just 4 to the centre of the ground. McClure coming from behind. Picken did everything right with front position. And a second grab on the way down for McClure. Fine mark.
Robinson just ordering a Collingwood trainer to take a bit of strapping or a toweling away from the centre area, the centre square area. Into time on in the first quarter by a minute, and Collingwood lead by 18 points to 14. Atkin, who-to. Toomey. Stewart, volleyball at the moment. Ray Shaw had a chance for Barham going past, but he finds Taylor. Tony Shaw calling for it in the pocket. English late on the scene. Outmarks him nicely. English, half-back flank. Fitzpatrick. Atkin from the side. Nearly. Fitzpatrick. Good play. Up towards Toomey and Bazasto. Johnson chips in for his first touch. Sheldon going past. Williams trying to pick him up. Will give away a free kick for a front-on tackle. Sheldon is given the advantage and he kicks it behind. But in retrospect, I think he'd like to take that kick again. Collingwood leading by 18 points to 15.
I think Ron Barassi preaches you've got to take risks in big games, and Sheldon took one then by going on, even though he could have had a set shot.
26 minutes gone in the first quarter. Stewart kicks in. Atkin there. Been absolutely magnificent all year, Ken Hunter. A real high flyer for his size. His fourth kick right to the goal square. Could go through, but it props and cops and is rushed through by Peter McCormack. What a great influence Ken Hunter's having, playing an attacking game, actually, on Peter Dacos.
Yes, he's doing that job very well. A stopping job for one, and as Drew said, giving Carlton a bit of a springboard. McCormack virtually down the centre, looking for Stewart. Got under the ball. Marcoux, who's had a real influence since he's been on. Plenty of pace, but so's Dacos. Taylor. Now Irwin the chance with the ball in front of him. Is it a trip? No, play on. And Dacos puts Collingwood across ground towards the centre. Rayburn up to half forward. Shaw, English from behind, didn't try to outmark him that time. Saw Perovic and punched the ball beautifully. Perovic back to Doull, and the Carlton defence is looking a treat at the moment. Onto Marcoux, another kick to the little interchange player, but McClure fell over then, which let Picken in.
Picken, halfback, flank and wing, kick number 6. And Johnston ran over the mark, but it was deemed play on as he really scrambled the ball away. Bususto shows it cheekily to Irwin. Great pass, finger-tipper, and taken by Wells. Johnson at centre half forward by himself. Johnson up high. Oh, he nearly got there. Picken a bit of a push. Players over the top. A facial tackle on a Collingwood player by the look of it, and it's Bill Picken from one of those traditional Picken free kicks on the McCormick.
And McCormick from right back towards the back pocket. Barham in front. Hasn't given Malin a sight. And the Carlton wingmen, Glascott and Malin, were so important to them in their semi-final win over Geelong. But Glascott's done a couple of things, but Barham totally dominating this wing.
29 minutes gone, and after a slow start, Carlton looking a bit better now. Marcoux is one of the reasons. Oh, well done, Alex Marcoux. Tremendous endeavour. Shaw pushed in the back, right in front of umpire Robinson. And the Rhodes Scholar looking for an Academy Award. He'll get 15 metres instead, and gee, I don't think that's setting an example.
I don't think he did anything wrong.
Well, he didn't deliver the ball on the full, but there's the quarter-time siren. And at the change, Collingwood leading Carlton by 2 points. A low-scoring first term, but entertaining. 2-6-18 plays 2-4-16.
Three-quarters of 17 minutes.
Inheriting the country yokel tag from Geelong. Start of the second quarter of the grand final. Collingwood leading Carlton by 2 points. 2 goals apiece in the first term. Collingwood frittered away opportunities early, but Carlton looking better as the term wore on. Mighty knock for the Blues, going from left to right. Cooper out to Toomey, under pressure from Bususto. And good play, Bususto, because he's ensured that Carlton keep the ball well and truly in their attacking half.
Collingwood 2-6-18, Carlton 2-4-16. Atkin and Mackay this time. Beats them all. Not Marcoux, kick number 7. Barham, McClure, good play by Barham. Pickham there too, looking for a free kick. He does get a push in the back. Umpire Dye is right on hand, but no free kick given. The Blues into attack at centre half forward. No one going up, yes, Atkin. Back, went straight through Allen, who's been fairly quiet so far. Taylor, the knock on by Toomey goes straight to Marcoux. High tackle over the shoulder. A free kick to Alex Marcoux, kick number 8, only 45 to 50 metres out from goal.
And would have played about 15 minutes of football so far in this match for 7 kicks, and as Peter said, number 8 coming up.
And Mackay dropping back.
8 more than Ashman.
Harms leads. He should kick it. It's going to drop a little bit short. Mackay, the big chance for Carlton. Down to Ashman. A pot shot. It's a goal. Carlton's third, and the Blues in front after 2 minutes of play in the second quarter.
Barney spurred Rod Ashman onto that by saying he hadn't had a kick.
Great play by Ashman, where a rover should be, in front of the pack, especially with the high-flying Mackay. The ball is bound to spill, especially when Mackay goes up with a couple of Collingwood defenders. He was in the right place where a rover should be, and he capitalised for the Blues.
Bounce by umpire Robinson. Fitzpatrick playing a fine game. Kick tackled around the head will take a free kick. Schoolboard's given that goal to Collingwood, which was pretty interesting. Kink a 15-metre penalty, which brings him forward of the centre circle. Long kick, about 15 metres short. More! Well, that's not bad for a man who had a hamstring injury and left the ground during the semi-final 2 weeks ago. Missed the preliminary final last year and was in doubt, and many people thought you couldn't come back after a hamstring injury and play in 2 weeks.
The hamstring to his right leg. He kicks with his right foot. Let's see the confidence of Peter Moore, 25 metres out.
Should be no problem. The Brownlow medalist. Ooh. And he's missed it from point-blank range. Scoreboard getting itself right, giving Ashman that last goal. And what a fine mark by Peter Moore.
Perovic there against him, always pretty hard to beat when the ball's in the air, but he did it well. Very safe pair of hands. Ball back in play. Hunter at the back, but bounce beat him and favoured Dacos. He gave it badly to Shaw. That's been a superb battle between Hunter and Dacos so far. Dacos just ahead on kick, 6-4 at quarter time. Fitzpatrick a field day in the ruck, but Carlton aren't always taking the ball away. Atkin to Dacos. And the Magpies deep into attack again. Moore, the sit from behind. Knocks it down to the back. But a Carlton free kick because Moore got into the back of Bruce Doull. Sheldon, who went off with a cut throat at quarter time, or didn't reappear in the first moments after quarter time, looks as if he's set to come back on. Doull takes the free. Toomey at the back. Johnston couldn't quite work the hand pass through. Now Allen gives it to Kink. All Carlton though on the half-back line, depending on how it bounces. Howe, intelligent play to Buckley. Glascott bouncing wildly. Oh, Malin, fine play, stealing it from Irwin. Threw it away though. Claims he punched it, but it didn't look like it from here. And it didn't look like it from where umpire Dye was either.
After a fairly quiet first quarter, the game on in earnest now. Has Johnston went over the mark, or is the ball going to go back? Yes, he's been penalised 15 metres. Both teams settling down now. Taylor, about 65 metres out from goal as he kicks it. Down to Peter Moore again. Rayshaw raving off the pack. Moore's got it again! Second mark in 2 minutes to Peter Moore. The Magpie skipper, inspiring stuff right in front, and he should not miss this one. He had the sider about 90 seconds ago and just missed. The Blues lead by 3 points, and now the Magpies lead by 3 points. Collingwood 3 goals 7, Carlton 3 goals 4, and a great confidence booster to Peter Moore.
And once again, getting to the front of the pack, 2 Carlton players trying to spoil, but with the height of Moore and his spring, which was great then considering his injured leg, and 2 marks in the space of a couple of minutes. Magpies back in front.
Costly at 15 metres against that Carlton player, Johnston. Allowed the ball to be driven deep down to the 10 metres line.
Atkin and Fitzpatrick running from about 20 metres apart. Sheldon's back on the ground for Carlton. Big thump goes past Perovic, taken by Doull. Good long kick under pressure. At the back, Ashman. And also Mackay. Ball spills to Johnston. Snap from centre half forward, right to the forward pocket. And Harms drifting down towards the behind post. Couldn't grab the ball. It's gone out of bounds for throw-in.
Scoring chance here for the Blues, deep in attack. 6.5 minutes gone, second term. And Collingwood leading by 3 points. Mackay doing the ruck work ineffectively, even though he got a hand to the ball because there's no one there to receive, but all strong tackling by Harms. Again, the Blues forwards putting the pressure on Collingwood's defenders and keeping the ball in Carlton's attacking area of the ground. McClure tried to steal it out of the air from the back of the pack. Ball up forced, still close to Carlton's goal.
Collingwood 3-7, Carlton 3-4, 6 minutes into the second quarter. Mackay, Atkin, they locked hands. Ball spills to the ground. Tony Shaw, semi-smothered by Ashman. Johnston on the pack, so is Toomey, so is Pickin. A Collingwood defensive free kick over the shoulder of David Toomey. Toomey with the free hand pass onto Allen. Whoops, Allen gets a fairly long kick out towards Stewart. Perovic out there too, but directionally It's out of bounds on the full, in fact, on the far side wing. Free kick to Val Perovic.
Surprisingly long kick, and the breeze which is going across the ground would have helped that over the line in that quarter of the ground. Fifth kick to Val Perovic, up towards half forward. McClure's there, a couple of Collingwood leapers. Sheldon the hand pass to Johnston, hooks over his shoulder, Harms! In front of Ian Cooper, who was the star last week in the preliminary final. He came back after injury, Ian Cooper, and took 9 marks in a great display. And now Wayne Harms, who's been moved to the forward pocket on him, right from the pocket, across the face of goal and out of bounds on the full.
Mackay explaining to McCormack just where the ball crossed the boundary line, right next to the behind post, says Mackay. McCormack says, well, give me 5 metres. Kicks to half back. McConville, good mark. Plenty of confidence against the big men, including his leading big man and skipper Fitzpatrick. Long spiral punt. Harms at the back, Mackay up. Forced through, one behind to Carlton. And the Woods lead by 2 points. Not all that attractive, the game so far.
And no atmosphere, Tim. It's very quiet.
Supporters of both teams extremely tense over this game today. McCormack. Williams his target. And it beats Williams. It goes to Sheldon, who's just on. Dacos on to Picken. Down towards Ray Shaw. Moore says, leave it. Off his chest. Perovic. Grabbed by Moore. Ray Shaw puts his head down. Moore tries to trap it. Hunter a little half-distance kick to Sheldon. Good tackle under pressure. Barham comes through, taps it onto Stewart. Onto Tony Shaw. Tony Shaw onto Dacos. Hunter coming in. Dacos fires. It's curving. Great goal. Great teamwork by Collingwood. Capped off by a fine left-foot goal by their star half-forward, Peter Dacos. 76 goals this season to Dacos. Good play, Tony Shaw. Drew the player. Hunter coming in, Dacos still about 35 metres out. Collingwood back in front, 4-7. Carlton 3-5. The Magpies by 8 points.
Has there ever been a better snapshot for goal than that player?
8 points Collingwood's lead. Fitzpatrick wins again, down to Sheldon, who's collared straight away. King's thump up the ground, worth a kick. Hunter goes the punch. Barham goes without the ball. Harms sweeps the handball over the top to Ashman. It's been really quiet. Little pop over the top. Greg Wells also been extremely quiet. He kicks to half-forward Mark, who's been sensational since he came on, and Mark's in front of McCormack in the forward pocket. Malin deeper in the pocket. Kept the ball in, I reckon. He went out, the ball stayed in. Left foots it. Oh, it's all Carlton, but they muff it. And in fact, Sheldon outmarks the skipper Fitzpatrick and will have a shot for goal from right in front.
And full credit to Phil Malin there, who really showed a cool head. He couldn't stop himself, but as Drew said, held the ball in play. You don't see that too often, but that was really good, cool thinking.
And now Ken Sheldon to narrow the margin to 2 points. He's done it.
Collingwood 4-7-31, Carlton 4-5-29. And Stuart Atkin making a bad mistake at the centre bounces. He's going back far too far for his run-in. Consequently, Fitzpatrick is getting there first and thumping the ball away. We'll just watch this time.
At the same time, it's well worth watching, I think, the great pressure that Collingwood are putting on. Fitzpatrick's winning almost every knock and winning quite decisively, thumping the ball forward for Carlton. But Kink, in particular, is rushing off the line. He's not starting up in the square. He's coming from the half-back position, storming in with a couple of others, and they really are closing it up, and Carlton are very rarely getting it out. There they are, and the charge of the Light Brigade comes as the ball is bounced. Fitzpatrick wins again, and this time Carlton do get it out. McConville working it forward. Bazusto and Toomey. Great race for the ball here. And it runs away from them with the wind.
Talking about Fitzpatrick's dominance, it was a similar story last week when Blake dominated, but Geelong couldn't get it out and lost the game.
Collingwood 31, Carlton 29. Shaw, Ray Shaw, Glascott. Good play by Johnston. Good hip and shoulder on Harms, scooped out towards Wells, into centre half forward, yes, gets it away to Malin. He runs in, oh, he's gone too far, no, he was off balance, and he has missed. When I say that Malin was off balance, he probably did a little too much, and when he got the ball off his hand to his boot, in fact, the ball was off balance. A point the difference in the grand final.
Peter McCormack straight up the ground, right to the centre square. Stewart in front, fine mark in front of Perevic. Now they dash into Collingwood's forward line. Stewart's sixth kick, long one too. Davis in front of Doull. Doull the punch. Hunter knocks on with Dacos, his opponent. In goes Glascott, getting his body in between ball and opponent. Spills back to Irwin, who tries to centre but can't. And the ball very close to out of bounds on the full and just out. And a free kick to Doull.
And a magnificent player for the Blues, well, for years, but not putting in a bad one today. Kicks towards centre wing. Fitzpatrick, front position. Atkin, the spoiler. And the Carlton skipper prods it on towards the centre line. Johnston, a difficult half volley, trapped it beautifully inside the Sheldon. They're starting to get their pattern working a bit now. Perevic up to half forward. Marcoux out in front of Byrne. Good spoil, but Malin's there to rove. Good shepherd, Marcoux. Malin pops it almost backwards, but it's effective, finding Wells between the centre and half forward lines for Carlton. Half a dozen kicks to Greg Wells. He's much too far out to score. Mackay gives a lead. He goes for it. Couldn't quite hold it. Now Marcoux. Bezusto backwards to Sheldon. Collingwood putting on good pressure. Back up to full forward. McClure front position. Roving Malin. Oh, took off without the ball. And now Collingwood out of trouble through Taylor.
Taylor no one to kick it to. Well, Glascott was the only person down there. A Collingwood player's gone down. It looked like Taylor behind play. We'll just wait for a moment.
Is it Toomey or Allen? Graham Allen.
Graham Allen. Glascott's kick. Atkin in front of Mackay and takes the mark. And Allen, who's in a lot of trouble. Interchange coming on for Collingwood will be Noel Lovell. Atkin now. A proppy kick up towards Davis and Dacos. Dacos nearly got there, but roving off the Packers, Davis, he wants support. He probably forced the ball out. He tried to. He got a push, apparently, and luckily will get the free kick.
Slipped over on the practice wicket area, just about on a good length. Davis up towards centre wing. All Carlton here. Sheldon. Oh, bad kick up and down in one spot. Davis came late on the scene, and the umpire paid it.
It's like a collarbone, I think, to Graham Allen, unfortunately.
Doesn't look good at all. There's Noel Lovell playing his second only senior game, about to come on. Here's Doull with a big thump into the path of Ashman, and he's got a paddock in front of him, but he gets a bad bounce, allowing Toomey back in, and Toomey tackles him high. Free kick Ashman.
Drops the little pass over to Wells, who's finding a bit of open space now. Marcoux is Carlton's biggest man up there, and Atkin takes the easiest of marks. But it's all Carlton back on the centre line. Doull watches Fitzpatrick. Davis jumps into his back pretty solidly, and Fitzpatrick gives him a not-so-friendly warning. 6 kicks to Mike Fitzpatrick. Up to half forward. 15-metre penalty, though, and he'll take the kick again. It's a long 15 metres, too. Certainly the length of those cricket wickets out there. Still too far out to score, but he'll put Carlton deep into attack, and the Blues have started both quarters a little slowly, but starting to settle a bit now.
Fitzpatrick. Mackay wearing him like a glove is McCormack. Unlucky Mackay. Mackay still got it, grabbed around the shoulder, and there'll be a ball up 25 metres out from Carlton's goal. 16 minutes in the second quarter. The Magpies by a point. 4-7 Collingwood, 4-6 Carlton. Atkin straight to Johnston now. It'll bounce into the pocket, and a high one. It went, oh, it broke back. It's a goal. A miracle goal by Johnston. The Blues back in front by 5 points.
Gee, you'd hate to think a grand final could be won on a bounce like that.
An amazing incident. That one was certainly going through for behind. We'll have another look at it. There's the left foot snap by Wayne Johnston. And look at that bounce. It was going through about halfway between the big one and the little one, but it bounced back and went between the big ones.
The big news, Peter Moore on the ball for the first time today at the 17.5-minute mark in the second quarter.
Interesting to note as Johnston burst in with his first goal that Lovell, of course, is his new opponent the second game.
I thought Collingwood could have afforded the luxury of probably not bringing more onto the ball until about three-quarter time.
So now it's the two captains against each other, Moore and Fitzpatrick. Fitzy wins again. Toomey knocks forward for Collingwood. Harms for Carlton. Kink robbed of the ball. McConville's hand pass gives Bususto a chance. Picken ducks his head into a pack. And the umpire, gee whiz, and Bususto going crooked with some justification. Free kick to Picken from centre half back.
Yes, that's an understatement, I think, to some justification. Glascott did well to stop Stewart from marking, but Irwin was roving for Collingwood. All Carlton in defence, and Perovic at centre half back for the Blues. They lead by 5 points, and they're looking confident at the moment. 18 minutes gone in the second quarter. McClure pushed Picken out. The man who gets about as many free kicks as anyone in the game takes his second in the space of about 30 seconds and his 9th kick for the match.
Up to half forward, Atkin, the resting ruckman, their only chance in the air. Off the ground, nobody except English and Shaw. Bad bounce goes Fitzpatrick nicely out to Sheldon. Harms calling for it, that's his target. Harms waiting for the ball to come. Now on to kick it to, only Peter Moore, he's in the way. Sets himself, he let it go. Picken again ducks his head. On to Peter Moore, doesn't want to have a big stretchy kick, so he goes to Barham. Barham's kicking towards centre half forward to Craig Davis. It's all Carlton. Perovic taken by Stewart, no support, there's nobody home. The ball will bounce, it's a goal to Collingwood. The Magpies back in front by a point. Collingwood 5-7, Carlton 5-6. A seesawing game. Collingwood by a point, 19 minutes into the quarter.
Tremendous kick by Stewart from almost a standing start under a lot of pressure. Just a couple of strides and a real floating torpedo.
And with Peter Moore on the ball, Atkin is now on the bench and Brewer on the ground for Collingwood for his first run halfway through the second quarter. Moore tries to back fist against Fitzpatrick, comes to Tony Shaw and a chest mark to Glasgow. 6th kick. Good long one. Well inside centre half forward. Mackay at the back. Running onto it. Malin. Open goal. He missed. And he is not good enough, Phil Malin. He's made many, many mistakes in this quarter. That was a red-hot opportunity. It levels the scores, but the Blues should be 5 in front.
He's missed 2 of those for the term. You can't afford them. McConville almost a good mark. Williams, who's been pretty quiet, booted on by Toomey. Oh. Davis! Sensational mark. Takes something sensational to beat a mean Bruce Dool. He did it well. Up towards Kink, who's got the sit. Who's roving? Dacos is roving, and that means danger. Throw in, right forward pocket for Collingwood.
Scores level, 20 minutes, second quarter. Brewer. Marcou's kick is smothered. Through the pack is Ray Shaw, still in possession. Yes, that's right, umpire Robinson. Didn't make too much effort to scoop the ball out. There's the brains trust of Carlton. Marcou. McClure and Picken. Marcou's had 10 kicks. Picken outnumbered out there. The man in front will be Fitzpatrick to take the mark halfback flank.
I reckon Ricky Barham might be looking for a new opponent soon. Malin, his stay on the ground might be too long, and there's Barham out marking him. Bortolotto looks as though he's about ready to come on. They'll have to switch smaller men, Carlton, down to centre half forward for Collingwood, and that will be a baller.
Well, what a fluctuating game. Scores dead level. I said a moment ago Carlton looked as if their confidence was growing, but now it's Collingwood kicking a goal straight after that and throwing the gauntlet down. Could they kick another? Kink, he loves these shots. Not so this time. Out on the floor, still scores level, and the free kick to English in the back pocket.
5 goals, 7 apiece. English. Looking for Fitzpatrick. Hunter in front. Got there first. Collingwood player down in trouble. Pick him up in a moment. Hunter's kick up towards Malin. Peter Moore. Bit proppy out there. Goes out to Irwin. Oh, that was nearly a throw. Under kick. Lucky. Collingwood player still in trouble. Malin's got a lift. Out to Perovic. Dacos it is. Dacos down on the half-forward line for Collingwood. Wells, Bususto and Toomey. Toomey had a fairly mediocre game last week. He's against the champ Bususto. He can run even time, but so can Bususto, I'd say. Across to kick. Down towards Brewer. Brayshaw for the crumbs. Howe. Good saving mark in defence for Carlton. Handball away to Fitzpatrick, who's playing very well indeed. Fitzpatrick into the centre. All Taylor. And Taylor marks on the defensive side of the circle.
Sixth kick to Mike Taylor. Centre half forward, big pack. At the front, Malin, he needs to lift, I reckon. Marcoux quickly onto English, well up from the back pocket. Beautiful kick to half forward. Johnston has a break. And he would have loved to have dashed off from Lovell, but didn't quite have a metre on him as Peter Dacos gets back to his feet. And the sharpshooter for Collingwood doesn't look too well. They've already got one man, Allen, off the ground. Johnston's kick hasn't got the distance. Mackay from the back, but it was always Collingwood's mark, McCormack.
Poor kick by Johnston. And the Blues have frittered away a few opportunities in the second term. 23.5 minutes gone. Barham from behind was the leaper. Now a chance for the Carlton Mosquito fleet. Marcoux. Floated away from Taylor. And a throw in up towards Carlton's forward pocket.
The Collingwood runner Peter Hafey checking out Dacos' condition at first hand to report to Tom Hafey. Toomey came in, almost tripped himself up. Well, he's still fumbling. He's had the fumbles, as I said, the last couple of weeks. Taylor doesn't fumble, very methodical. On to Tony Shaw, another non-fumbler. Perovic and Stewart, punched away by Perovic. Sheldon, nice tap on, but Wells doesn't get a good bounce. Williams has been quiet. Kink, onto Irwin. Irwin out of the tackle, but it's all Carlton. English. Made it look a bit harder than it was. Dacos mobile again. Fitzpatrick burned late on the scene. Fitzpatrick dominant. Gets a call from Marcoux. A long kick by Marcoux. It's into the pocket. Grabbed by McCormack off his fingers and through from behind. And the Blues in front. Close to half-time. Nearly 25 minutes in the second quarter. The Blues in front by a point.
Fitzpatrick playing a magnificent game. McCormack's kick into the centre square again. Knocked forward by Carlton. Chance here for McClure as he runs onto it. Beaten to it by Picken. The handball looking for the boundary line, but in fact finds teammate Irwin. Irwin up towards half-forward flank. And this man, since he came on, is absolutely killing them. Marcoux onto English.
Who's also doing pretty well. Didn't kick well then, though, and taken away by Taylor for Collingwood from the centre line up to half-forward. Not a great kick. Davis with 2 to beat, and one of them is Doull. And one's usually enough when it's Doull. Onto Perovic. And the Blues bursting into attack again. They're looking for a goal in time on, which we've just ended. Johnston was the big leaper. Fitzpatrick was roving, but a bit clumsy. In goes Moore, who is not moving freely at all. Taken away by Sheldon. Moore can't run. Sheldon from the forward pocket. Barham. That's good defensive work by the wingman, drifting down the ground. But Collingwood are in a fair amount of trouble with injuries. Peter Moore really hobbling.
Up towards Williams, who called for it and juggled it, but no mark paid. He might need a bit of support here. He'll have to run out of trouble. He does. Gets thrown to the ground after he kicked the ball. Ashman onto Doull. Carlton going the wrong way for about 10 metres or so. Up to Bususto, and he marks between wing and half forward member side. 26 minutes second quarter. Collingwood 37, Carlton 38. And McCormack, who's played a slashing game for Collingwood, saves yet again.
Actually, the two stars who returned, Moore and Ashman, are both being a bit of an embarrassment, not only to themselves, but to the selection committee who put them on the ground. Here's Ashman, could yet lift. Left footer, right to full forward. Moore from the back. Thumps down. Gathered by Williams, who breaks a tackle and just runs through half a dozen of them. Great play, Mark Williams. His kick over centre wing. Awkward bounce here for Stewart, but he taps to the back looking for Ray Shaw, who's been fairly quiet with Perovic. English now. Slips the tackle and breaks away again.
Up to the wing, Harms, and Carlton are really on top at the moment, but they can't find the goal-scoring space. Mackay coming from behind, late on the scene. That didn't help, and no one there to rove. McClure has to do it himself. Collingwood really closing ranks in defence. Ugly passage of play. Finally, a Collingwood free kick for a push in the back. Tony Shaw, the recipient. Out to Toomey. And away go the Woods now. We're in time on. Beat Barham and Malin. Davis with plenty of pace. Too much for Doull that time. To half forward. English. Oh, yes, he's been a fine player all season for that matter for Carlton, but today playing one of his really good ones.
On to Wells, and Ray Shaw for Collingwood up in the forward pocket has to lift against English. Wells spears the ball to Johnston, but in the way is Cooper. Hand pass over the top. Tony Shaw. Peter Moore had a chance. In fact, he might even end up with it. Oh, I don't know about this. Tackled by Harms, but he just shrugs it off. Gets it on to Lovell for his first kick in the match. A spearing kick. Down to Dacos and Brewer. Howell in front. And both defences very firm at the moment across to Hunter.
The margin 1 point in favour of the Blues. Towards the outer side, Glasgow and Irwin. And the ball out of bounds. In between centre wing and half forward for Collingwood. Fitzpatrick and Moore to do battle. Let's have a look at Peter Moore here. Couldn't get the feet off the ground. Comes to the back to Tony Shaw. Left foots it to the pocket. Chance for Ray Shaw. Doull's there as well, and the ball out again.
Carlton by a point. Thus far, a disappointing grand final in terms of quality. Plenty of pressure, but quality football few and far, or pretty hard to find. Howell in ruck versus Stewart for Collingwood. And a scoring chance perhaps for the Magpies in the shadows of half-time. Tony Shaw to Williams. Oh, broke 2 tackles. But kicks out on the full. So a Carlton free kick in the last line of defence.
Almost half-time. 29 minutes played in the second quarter. English. Fitzpatrick, no wide of him. Tap on by Harms onto McClure. Byrne of Collingwood. Oh, no, dropped it. Keeps it in. And it's half-time. And at half-time, Carlton go in a pointer. They're 5 goals, 8-38 to Collingwood 5-7-37.
The last 10 minutes was pathetic.
I reckon so.
Fair enough.
Who's interested in balloons, bands, singers, and all that? No? John English, fair.
The game underway in the third quarter at the MCG. Rain falling quite heavily. The ground's still in very good condition. Fitzpatrick gets the knockout. Moore's gone to full forward. And Atkin back on the ball for Collingwood after coming off the ball midway through that second quarter. Umpire Robinson. The Blues into attack. They lead by a point. Carlton 5-8. Collingwood 5-7. Atkin up early but effective. Dacos, who got a heavy bump before half-time, seems a bit proppy. Up towards Kink. Grabbed by Harms. And gets the handball. Oh, it's not a good hand pass to Williams, but he gets his boot into it. Up towards Davis. Up to Ray Shaw, who must lift. English has little trouble getting the ball away. Glasgow in trouble. Oh, the hand pass. A chance for Marcoux. Good, cool play. And, oh, great tackle. Picked up by Ray Shaw. In towards Davis. Uses his body well. Peter Moore is there. But there's going to be a high tackle against Collingwood. And the free kick going to Howell, who's done pretty well today.
Blues going into the second half, leading by 1 point, 5-8 to 5-7. Kick towards the outer side. Practice wicket area. Knocked up the ground by Fitzpatrick. Chance for Malin. He shouldn't have taken possession. Should have just tapped straight on because Bazasto was there. And the ball held in tail. Held when not in possession. Free kick to Phil Malin from right half back.
Peter Carlton's attacking half. McClure outnumbered that time. Strong play, Marcoux, who's been a star. Sheldon to Johnston, who's got web feet normally, but fumbled the wet ball then. Play goes on. Johnston well tackled. Both defences on top. And Mark Williams, that gutsiest of players, out towards the wing, but it's the Blues in the van. Harms.
Williams, I think, might have a cork one from that last exchange. He's very proppy up towards McClure. Punched off the packer, goes to Bazasto, grabbed high. but unlucky. Johnson pulled off the ball. Williams properly out towards Marcoux. Atkin looking for a free kick as Byrne comes in to try and tidy up. He does. Out to Williams again. He sidesteps Glascott. Inboard now up towards Kink. Kink, yes, takes the mark between centre and centre-half forward. Onto that left boot he goes. Looking for Davis. Davis got the drop on Dool. No, Dool the punch away. Coming through is Irwin. Peter Moore back in the goal area by himself. No, Howler's in front. Moore can't run. Tries to tackle. Dacos is very proppy. Moore doing all the work. No one helping for Collingwood. And Howell clears.
Well, straight through the hands of Val Perovic, allowing Tony Shaw in with a chance. His handball goes on to Taylor. Long kick to the goal square. Dool drops back and spoils Ray Shaw. And the ball goes through for a behind to level the scores at 38 points apiece. And an interesting pairing at the moment is Harms and Kink.
Good long kick by Dool. Fitzpatrick takes front position. Wet ball will take a bit of marking and picking up. Williams, who did look hurt a moment ago with cork thigh, gets it to Irwin. Dool in the way. At fullback for Carlton. Thought about running away. Now Malin making position out on the members' side. He ignores it and goes down the middle. McClure and Bazasto got up high. The rover is Marcoux, well tackled by Toomey. And as a result, didn't kick methodically. And Lovell takes the mark. And from half-back, Collingwood coming away. Taylor, a bad fumble, and they've got to get used to a wet ball after a dry one for 50 minutes. Back to Lovell and Collingwood into attack. Kink and Perovic, bit of a hip out by Kink. Perovic's free kick. And the big man hasn't done too much for Collingwood, number 36. Fairly quiet day.
Perovic at centre-half back. Scores level, 5 goals, 8 apiece early in this third quarter. Picken, yes, good mark. They've had some great duels over the years, McClure and Picken. I think Picken might be a bit on top over many years. Kick number 10, dropping back is Perovic. Collingwood lacking marking power.
Forwards may as well go home. The defenders are on top.
Defenders so right on top. Perovic.
Perovic's kick towards the members' wing. Hunter gets in front. Good mark, Ken Hunter. Just about taken more marks than anybody else on the ground. It's his fifth, up towards half forward with his kick. Sheldon from the back, off the hands, taken by Williams. High kick, barely up to the wing. Hunter gets in front again. Off the hands. Hunter once more, playing well, up towards half forward now. Chance for Johnston. Picken spoils. In goes Malin. Really desperate stuff. Scores level, 38 apiece. And disappointing that the rain may spoil the second half of this grand final, although I suppose typical. It's been the wettest winter in Melbourne for about 30 years, although it's been dry during the final series.
Well, shades of 1979. I think it was 5 goals apiece at half-time on that day when Carlton met Collingwood. And it was also wet. So once again, a gloomy second half, and it looks like being another very tense doer struggle. Mackay front position. And it's a Collingwood free kick. Apparently Mackay doing a bit of shepherding. Atkin takes it at half-back for Collingwood. Towards Kink. Fitzpatrick there to spoil. Good play by Harms. He was well supported by Glascott. Now the Blues look dangerous. Wells says, keep on coming. Keep on coming. Harms lines them up. Drives for goal and puts it through. Carlton in front by a goal at the 5.5-minute mark of the third quarter. Lifting goal by Wayne Harms, the man who we remember so well for his efforts in 1979. Great play too by Greg Wells, who watched behind to see that Harms had plenty of toe and was burning off the man coming from behind. You saw the shepherd from Wells. It made Harms' job easy.
The rain tumbling, 44 Carlton, 38 Collingwood. A vital time now for both teams. Atkin. The palm went to Malin. There's going to be a free kick against Fitzpatrick. Atkin being held. In fact, Fitzpatrick going on with it, but Williams, Dacos coming in. And the ball being taken off Collingwood against Dacos, and it's going to Fitzpatrick. Up to Ashman. Byrne is there, through his hands, McClure. Carlton now getting a run on. Lovell outnumbered. That's all he could do. And it's over the line. Left forward pocket. The Blues into attack.
Behind.
Behind, is it? Blues by 7.
Peter McCormack straight up the ground and into the centre square again. Harms! Wayne Harms, who could lift this game out of the doldrums. A brilliant goal a minute ago and the mark of the day then. And Wayne Harms, who was a long kicker of the football, put this right towards the goal square. Well, it's a kick which lets him down a little bit. McClure in the thick of things, punched out of defence into the arms of Taylor. Oh, it took a fair while.
Over the centre of the ground, Dool is there, and the Carlton defence is rock solid at the moment, but a relayed free kick because Taylor apparently disposed of after kicking the ball. 15-metre penalty as well, and Carlton have surrendered about 100 metres with sheer stupidity.
Stewart, Moore and Howe. A long kick by Stewart. It's drifting offline, and it's through for behind the Collingwood, so a goal the difference. Carlton 45, Collingwood 39.
Dool doing most of the kicking in, with Southby not taking his place in the 20. Not forward by Williams, by Taylor, straight to Williams. Moore comes from the back of the pack, almost takes a mark. Ray Shaw in front, pushed over by Dool. Umpire rules a ball up.
Only 35 metres out from Collingwood's goal, so a scoring chance for the Magpies, who trail by a goal. Plenty of Carlton players up there, and we'll see them in combat again as the number 9 on the board takes a bit of a hammering, or it could do with a bit of a hammering by the look of it. Moore doing the ruck work, but is just in attack at the moment. Williams, good bullocking play. Kink. Another behind to Collingwood, and the margin is 5 points.
Carlton 6-9, Collingwood 5-10, so 15 shots apiece on the board. Somebody with a souvenir, apparently. Carlton's goals to Sheldon, Ashman, McClure, Harms and Mackay. Collingwood, Barham, Stewart, Williams, Moore and Dacos. I think the police might be going in to try and find that one.
I'm just wondering if it is permanently souvenired, whether inscribed on it in Texticolour or something will be Carlton Premiers 1981 or Collingwood.
Well, the constable is trying his best. He's going right in there to get that ball.
He's getting the hard ball.
Yeah.
He's got it.
And just as a replacement ball appeared, out she came.
Once upon a time, there used to be a spare kept down by the goal umpire between the big sticks.
Dool towards the outer side. Wells in front. And you can imagine the grit that Wells would have been approaching this game. So many years at Melbourne, failing to make the finals, and now a chance at a premiership with Carlton. He's been a fairly quiet player, though, Greg Wells. Fitzpatrick taps. In goes Glascott, number 32. Holding the ball against a Collingwood player, and the free kick is going to Alex Marcoux, who's been about the best small man since he came on. 14th kick.
Mackay up from behind, doesn't really fancy the wet conditions, and he's beaten, or looked like being beaten by Picken, but the Swan does well. No support for him there. And finally, weight of numbers tells. Williams, Tony Shaw, and now Barham, the star of the first half. It looks like another relayed free kick. No, it's not. Play goes on. Dool puts Carlton into attack to McConville. Good mark. Fine mark with the wet ball by McConville. Beautifully delivered by Bruce Dool, as always. Looks for the short one to Ashman. Oh, he was under a lot of pressure. That wasn't wise. Cooper, strong play, and assisted by Irwin. Back to the centre where it's all Carlton. Hunter is paid the mark. The Blues were about to break away with it anyway, but Ken Hunter, another fine game in defence for Carlton from just behind the centre of the ground.
That's his 6th mark. Up towards centre half forward, the punch away by Atkin. Toomey misses it. And Carlton player grabbed high, which was Wells. Wells about 50 metres out from goal for kick number 10. The Blues lead by 5 points. Rain falling. Won't make it. McClure, Carlton's only chance. Atkin up high. It beats him, or does it? It goes over the line, trickles sideways, through for behind, the margin 1 goal.
And just 1 goal kicked in 12 minutes of football in this third quarter. 11 only for the match, and the grand final, something of a disappointment, but certainly a great contest.
Actually, the teams who finished in the top 3 places really lacking forward lines, and it's been a shame that the game is really at the moment devoid of star full forwards, apart from about 2 in the competition. There's a scramble of players. And umpire Dye calls for the ball, and we'll have it on Carlton's left half forward flank. We'll throw a blanket over about 20 players here.
12.5 minutes gone. Blues in front by a goal. Doull, oh, how did he get that ball onto his boot? In goes Marcoux, but taken by Johnston. Well tackled from behind. And a ball up now, just as Malin was coming away with it. Collingwood players protesting. Taylor feeling that his tackle on Johnston was good enough to warrant a free kick. But umpire Dye unrelenting. 50 metres out from Carlton's goal front. Mackay doing the ruck work, is favoured by the bounce. Chance now for Wells, could line them up. Oh, he didn't steady. It might get there. Touched, or is it home? It's home! Touched. Gee, he should have steadied then. He had another 5 metres if he wanted it, and perhaps didn't get the call from any of his nearby teammates.
The corner, Carlton lead by 7 points. Carlton winning in the air. And on the ground, they've had the better of this first 13 minutes of this third term. Almost on the point of the square on the far side. Carlton 6-11, Collingwood 5-10. Drizzly rain at the MCG, a huge crowd. It's been very quiet, the atmosphere all day. Atkin, very late going up for the ball. He's missed a lot of those. Collingwood free kick as Wells broke clear again. High tackle to Lovell, and Lovell will take the free kick at centre half back.
Out towards the outer wing. Stewart underneath the ball at the front of the pack. Craig Davis. Kick travels towards the centre, not forward very much. Barham contesting with Malin. It spills Carlton's way, picked up by Fitzpatrick. Has plenty of time to steady. Left foot to half forward. Clears Marcoux and Byrne. Byrne's been fairly quiet, certainly compared to last week, and the ball out of bounds, left half forward. Well, considering Marcoux's his opponent, he's given him too many kicks.
14.5 minutes gone. Blues doing the attacking at the moment. Malin knocking it away there from Picken, forcing another throw in, but Collingwood gaining about 15 metres in the exchange. The umbrellas are out, adding to the colour of a magnificent spectacle at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. 81 Grand Final. Williams tackled from all angles and didn't have possession of the ball. Takes a free kick at half-back flank for Collingwood.
Talking about nullifying efforts, Toomey, who hasn't had many kicks, has done a great job on Disaster.
Who has not done enough.
Williams, half-back flank. Kick number 13 to Williams. Now King and Fitzpatrick, the loose man in defence, hovering around half-back line. The first mistake Dill's made all day. Ashman, a fresh air shot. Goes back and tries to tidy up what the mistake he made. Umpire Robinson will call for a bounce.
Carlton 47, Collingwood 40. 15 minutes into the third quarter. Fitzpatrick wins, but down to Dacos. Threads his way through and then kicks into the crowd. Well, not far over the line, but that was never going to a teammate. And the free kick to Des English from the back pocket. And what a superb player he's been all season, English. Short of centre, knocked forward by Collingwood. Irwin contesting onto Dacos. Beautiful hand pass onto Tony Shaw. Further afield to Taylor. Taylor lines up and snaps. Great goal, Collingwood. And the initial spark again came from Peter Dacos, who put that handball through the eye of a needle to Tony Shaw.
And what a valuable goal too. Carlton would lead by 7 points. If they'd scored the next one, I think they might have had the chance to sneak away. But now it's anyone's game again. Halfway through the third quarter, Ashman works it forward for Carlton. Well-trapped Picken. Up to half forward. Doull and Davis. Now King. It's a big scoring chance for Collingwood. Pops it over to Tony Shaw. Easy mark. 25 metres out, directly in front. And this is the secret of Collingwood's success. For 15 minutes in this quarter, they didn't look like scoring. And suddenly, in the space of 60 seconds, they've scored a goal in a low-scoring game and now look like getting another one. And they've got it. They're back in front. Collingwood 7th, Tony Shaw's first, and the Magpies lead by 5 points.
But talking about Rene King, there's no medium pace with Rene King. He's either not in the play at all, or when he slips himself, he just goes at 100 miles per hour. Ashman coming off, Buckley coming on for Carlton.
So Ashman off for the second time in the game, and his selection must be a mistake. Rod Ashman, who's dominated all the media awards this year. He polled Brownlow votes in 11 games and finished only 1 vote behind Barry Round and Bernie Quinlan, who won it. And here he is, not taking a real part in the grand final.
18 minutes in this third term. The Magpies lead by 5 points. Centre bounce again, Glasgow. Oh, he was tripped. Yes, he was legged on the attacking side of the centre circle. High down to McClure, doubling back. Rayburn for the crumbs. In fact, he goes to punch the ball away. Besusto out to Lovell. No one out there to kick it to, so he's got to go for the hand pass. Only player out there was Sheldon. Collingwood properly kicking it around the ground. Irwin. Well, full marks to Irwin. He made a hash of it and will get a free kick. Deep on the half-back line. Collingwood 7-10, Carlton 6-11, 19 minutes into the quarter. Third quarter it is. Irwin's 11th kick. Rain still tumbling down towards Stewart. It beats them. Fitzpatrick. And the ball out of bounds, as we've seen so many times this afternoon, with the breeze in the first half going right across to that far outer side wing. But looking, by the way, the rain is falling, there's hardly any breeze at all.
Oh, the tap comes straight down to Ray Shaw at the back of the pack. Long kick, Peter Moore in front. Oh, don't think the Carlton player was playing the ball. Free kick to Moore. That was English, who ran straight at Peter Moore, wasn't playing the ball. And here's a chance for another Collingwood goal, which would be their third in the space of 2 or 3 minutes, and it was in the second round of home and away games. Collingwood only played for about 8 minutes. They kicked 6 goals in that time and won the game by a point. Carlton had beaten them everywhere else apart from that time, and Collingwood getting a run now. Stewart at the back, almost a mark. Off hands to English, who kicks desperately out of defence. Not a Carlton player in sight, and will be picked up by Toomey just inside the line.
And he has time to steady. Kicks purposefully up towards Stewart at full forward. Perovic there with the fist. At the back of the pack, only more for Collingwood, although Ray Shaw went in solidly. English under pressure now. And a ball up. Collingwood players, the two Shaws, screaming at the umpire, saying that English didn't try and dispossess himself of the ball. But the bounce 20 metres out from Collingwood's goal.
Up goes Moore, gets the palm down to Stewart. Oh, he got about a 3-centimetre kick to knock out towards Ray. Shaw's been quiet. He's kicked a goal for Collingwood. A miraculous goal. Kicked by the former skipper. Collingwood 11 points in front after trailing about 6 minutes ago by that margin. Collingwood 8 goals 10. Carlton 6 goals 11. Again, Williams doing all the in-work. Shaw didn't even look. It could have gone anywhere. It was a real high kick. Almost went right over the goal post. The goal umpire in perfect position. The Magpies 2 kicks in front.
A real purple patch for Collingwood just in the last 4 minutes or so. Off the hands it goes to Ray Shaw again. Kink at centre half forward. Knocked out of the air, it comes to Malin. Decides to hand pass, then kick. He was in 2 minds and it's come unstuck. Williams caught by Hunter, holding the ball. Free kick to Ken Hunter, who's been superb.
Great tackle in. They needed that to steady the ship a bit. They need a goal to steady it a bit more. Up towards half forward. Marcoux, the leaper from behind. Through goes Malin. Atkin well tackled, but Picken there to support him. Works it back to the centre line. Glasgow hasn't really enjoyed the wet ball. Wells in front. Well spoiled by the taller Atkin. Now Dacos, a bad bounce. Barham knocking it. Backing up is Byrne. And the slippery conditions have got them struggling. Dacos. Taylor, did he keep it in? Yes, he did, but I wish he hadn't because it's all Carlton. Glasgow put the head into that tackle, but gets the free kick.
Glasgow, half-back flank, wide of centre. Wells leads, but it's too far for Wells. Mackay still. McConville is shepherding. Mackay close to the boundary, but purposeful kick now as players are slipping and sliding everywhere. There might be a change of boots at three-quarter time. Toomey off the ground. Dacos and Harms. Toomey, oops, not a second time, David Toomey. Harms in the centre half forward, lines up, bangs for goal, and he has missed, and a bad mistake by David Toomey. And Peter Hafey really going to town on him now. A good let-off for Collingwood from a bad mistake.
What brilliant play by Wayne Harms, who's done all his dashes from the half-back flank. Kick towards the outer side, comes to the back of the pack to Barham, lightning hand pass on to Taylor. Taylor drives Collingwood into attack again. Moore comes down with Howell, but Chuka Howell was in front and took the mark on his chest.
English off the ground for Carlton, obviously injured, and Ashman is back on. So both teams with injury problems. Moore on one leg. Collingwood have lost Allen. Dacos had an injured ankle earlier. Atkin climbing high for the good spoil. Perovic should have taken possession, but gives it effectively to Glasgow. Bad bounce, favours Collingwood. Byrne back to the centre. All Carlton. Hunter always handles it with confidence. Back towards half forward for the Blues. Mackay works it forward for Carlton. McClure and McCormick. And Wells. High tackle on Wells. No. Ball up, 40 metres out from Carlton's goal.
Nearly 24 minutes played in the third term. The Magpies by 10 points in this rain-affected grand final. Had to pick in Rayburn, had to stop and prop Perovic, and it certainly has been the battle of the backlines today. Harms. Out to Malin.
Malin pops it over the top and finds Marcoux unmarked. Just forward of right half forward flank. Far too far out to score in the wet conditions. 15th kick to Alex Marcoux, who started the game on the bench. What a kick! Johnston at the back of the pack, thumped through and rushed for behind. I think it was back in defence, yes.
The third rush behind to Carlton from the Collingwood defence.
So a 9-point margin to Collingwood. Carlton led earlier in the quarter by 7 and looked to be right on top at that stage, but it's really turned around now. McCormack down the middle. Got a rove at the back now, the ball's slippery. Kink to Tony Shaw was good play. Up to Davis, he's got a couple of metres on Gould. Hasn't given him the slip often. Tony Shaw looking for the hand pass, but he centres the ball into half forward. Moore, big leap. Carlton defence under pressure. Harms. Good smother, Williams, open goal if he can get there. He has! Second goal, Mark Williams. Great smother and goal. And Collingwood are in a strong position. Here it is, Moore. Now watch Harms take possession, had time to get the kick. Was a bit slow, Williams, desperation plus. And then mad scramble after the ball. 4 points.
Collingwood 64, Carlton 49. Over the top, Collingwood knocking the ball on again. It goes to Stewart, tries to chop his way out of trouble. Almost should have been a free kick against him, but it doesn't matter. It goes to Marcoux anyway. Cooper, the flagging Ashman. Out to Atkin. Marcoux there, the only man, but Atkin has no trouble outmarking Marcoux. And pass to Shaw, Butterfingers, Taylor, Toomey. Dead heat, Toomey, forward again, up towards Tony Shaw and Harms, Peter Moore, Howell, out to Davis, over the top to Tony Shaw, nobody home, he gets out of the tackle, he can't kick right foot, right across the pocket, and is marked by Hunter. A golden opportunity for Collingwood.
Hunter quickly, as Carlton have players spare and clear in defence. Fitzpatrick at right half back. Just about kicked that off his shin, what a shocker. In comes Mackay to spoil, gives away the free kick, and things going Collingwood's way, and they certainly should be lifted by the smother and goal by Mark Williams, who's played in 2 premiership teams with Port Adelaide in the last 2 years and is going for a hat-trick. He knows what it's like to win and how to do it. Collingwood in attack again, Harms off the ground, out of bounds. Unlucky for Wayne Harms, and again going Collingwood's way, Peter Dacos, who is not without a chance from here.
No one covering him if he runs around, which he may well do. And a ton of room.
He loves these.
coming straight at it. Not this time. Out on the full. So a reprieve for the Blues. But they need more than reprieves at the moment because they are in real trouble, trailing by 15 points. And in the slippery conditions now, goals are worth their weight in gold. Another ball gone missing, and this has been a pretty unfortunate. It's back on, but gee, there have been a lot of delays. Marcoux out to half-back for Carlton. Perovic forced to come from behind. Hunter, Carlton's best. Tippin, one of Collingwood's best, way out in front of David Mackay. And Carlton's bigger men up forward are really struggling in the conditions at the moment.
Pickens' 13th kick into centre half forward. Not much marking power there for Collingwood. King from the side, gave away free kick. Oh, he didn't. He should have been penalised. Barham, goal!
Oh, unbelievable umpiring. Perovic almost had his head taken off.
Barham's second goal. The Magpies by 21 points in the 1981 VFL Grand Final.
Perovic
Have
going
a
for
look
the
at that.
mark.
Unbelievable decision by the umpire to allow play go on. Barham swooping on the ball. Collingwood's 10th goal. They're 10-10 to Carlton 6-13.
And that is a huge break in these conditions. Bounce by umpire Dye. Fitzpatrick palms to the back to Marcoux, who's knocked up getting kicked. Centre half forward, Ashman leaps at it. 18 kicks to Alex Marcoux. Taylor quickly to Picken. Half forward, Kink, spoiled by Harms. Marcoux once more, beautiful pass to centre wing, and Glascott's got about 20 metres, and he gets a lead from Sheldon up the ground. Sheldon's got time as well. Low pass to full forward, Johnston. Almost. McCormack to Cooper, robbed of the ball, picked up by Rod Ashman. Open goal, and he's kicked it. No, yes. Second goal to Rod Ashman, who has spent quite a deal of this game on the bench. Knocked out of Cooper's arms, I think, by McClure, and it fell all right for Ashman. And while he had nobody in front of him, he had a fairly narrow target to aim at.
29 and a half minutes gone in the quarter. 5 goals to 2 in Collingwood's favour in this third term. Could be a premiership winner for them. Mighty knock Fitzpatrick. Hunter's on the forward line to try and give the Blues a lift, and he gets a free kick. Well, that's a pretty radical move because he's been a star in defence and only defence all season. He's a long way from goal, 60 metres. That's kick number 15. Up goes McClure, man in front. Peter McCormack. Fine defender for Collingwood. In comes Kink. Plenty of spoilers. Still a chance for the Blues. Must be very close to to three-quarter time. Malin over to Buckley. Scoring chance for Carlton. Lines them up and puts it through. The Blues are back in the game. They trail by just 9 points. And only 2 minutes ago they looked very close to beaten. Malin the hand pass. Buckley, great steadiness there. Shrugged the tackle. Really knows where the sticks are when he gets the chance. And kicked through.
The last 2 goals, Ashman and Buckley, and what depth Carlton have in that small to medium range player.
Fitzpatrick dominant in the ruck. Perfect bounce by umpire Robinson. Fitzpatrick again. Tap on by Mackay. Swooping on the ball is Sheldon. Intercepted by Lovell. Nobody out there to kick it to, so he's got to go deep. Up towards Ray Shaw. Perovic in the way. And will save for Carlton close to three-quarter time. Inboard, it is three-quarter time. And the Magpies turn at the three-quarter way mark. 9 points in front. Collingwood 10-10-70. Carlton 8-13-61.
Start of the last quarter with Collingwood in front by 9 points, having led by 21 into time on, and then Carlton added those 2 goals in the time on period in the third quarter, and straight from the centre bounce, Collingwood's free kick. Not going to Taylor, it's going to Atkin, and from the centre circle, he's allowed to run right through it and drive it long in the wet conditions. Craig Stewart in front. And this is well, not well within kicking distance, but he's got a chance. And they've started the quarter with a dry ball. And on a dry day, you'd put down your glasses on Stewart getting the distance. But, well, this could be a photo. Distance, 50 metres. Oh, no problem with the distance, but offline, and an even 10 points the difference.
Stewart 1 goal 4, which is Collingwood's lead at the moment.
Might be some Carlton defenders hanging their heads if he'd kicked a goal, because he took that mark on his chest so easily. Dool out to the members' side looking for Howe, looking for his pace against Moore, but the Collingwood skipper was just too astute. He can't run, but he was clever enough then. It was good thinking by Dool to go for Collingwood's Achilles, but it didn't work. Dool front position, copped a nudge. The umpire saw it. Davis the offender, and Bruce Dool another chance to boot Carlton out of trouble, and he'll be hoping that his mates further up the ground support him this time.
High kick by Dool. Fitzpatrick his target. Moore from the side. Punched away. It goes to Carlton's advantage. Rayburn overruns the ball. Might have been grabbed. Good play by McClure a long way up the ground. A chance here for Sheldon. Mackay uses his body nicely. A chance for Lovell now to try and Lloyd. Try to soccer off the ground. Out. Deliberate. That should be a free kick. That should be a free kick to Carlton in the grand final in the final term. Umpire Dye gave that decision, or in fact didn't. And it's out of bounds in the right forward pocket. The Blues into attack.
I'll talk about that one for quite a while. Forward pocket for Carlton. Comes to the back. Sheldon boot to ball. A goal! The margin back to 4 points. Ken Sheldon had that for a brilliant of a second.
And it's probably, well, let's have a look at it just before I comment. Sheldon, very little time, as Drew said. And that's great work around the sticks when you can drop it onto your boot under so much pressure and still kick accurately. I was going to say, umpire Dye mightn't go into the history books now as the man who didn't give that controversial free kick, because Carlton managed to kick a goal anyway, and so they did what they were hoping to do, and what a free kick might not have even provided them with. So, 4 points in it. And Collingwood supporters who have been through this so many times before must be wondering what's going to happen in the next 25 minutes. Honours even there. McConville sandwiched. Malin backs his judgment, runs a long way. Bit of danger here, but Hunter's pretty reliable. In fact, very reliable. Kicks it back to the centre line. Byrne from behind, the big two-fister. Irwin, well met by Sheldon. Toomey well tackled by Sheldon. And on the Australian flag, they jostle for possession, and the umpire will ball it up.
3 minutes of play in the final term in the grand final. Collingwood leading by 71 points to 67. The rain hasn't ceased since half-time. McClure grabbed by Williams. That's a real rainmaker. As play on is the call, naturally, it didn't travel very far. It goes up to Barham. Barham's kick reasonably effective to Dacos, and finds Dacos on the Olympic stand win. Kick number 12. Good spearing kick. Peter Moore, the only chance. Craig Davis behind the pack. Nobody in front of the pack for Collingwood except Malin. And here's danger for Collingwood now as Malin breaks clear from half-back up towards half-forward. Picken, and Picken takes a good mark on the defensive side of the centre circle.
Very, very hesitant play by Phil Malin.
Quick handball, and would have had the player going past, would have gone 30 metres past Picken. Picken's 15th kick to centre half forward, and a defensive mark to the skipper, Fitzpatrick, who's been grand. Over the centre, that's not too grand. Atkin drops an easy mark. Chance here for Carlton, but they recover through Lovell. Sweeping hand pass out to Toomey. Toomey draws a man, Glascott, over the top to Irwin. Back inboard to Tony Shaw. Oh, back to Toomey going past. Kicked a brilliant goal on the wet against North Melbourne. And this is a long-ranging kick for goal. Moore, and touched off the hands, and it could have been Moore's fingers that got it.
Yeah.
Would have been better to let it go for a goal, obviously.
Bruce Dool wants to get on with the job. He sees a man out there that he can kick to. It's Perovic, and he lets him down. Has not had a good day, Big Val, and he thumps the sodden turf with an anguished fist. So 5 minutes gone in the final term of the grand final. Collingwood leading by 5 points. The margin, Carlton beat them by 2 years ago. Malin. Barham. Now Dool. Ball fell from his grasp. He was held. And we'll see a throw-in, which I think is the correct decision.
About 55 metres away from Collingwood's goal. Outer side. Fitzpatrick, nicely taken by
Marcoux.
In towards the centre square. Punched away by Glascott. Picking over runs the ball. There's no support there. He gets a bit of a push in the back. Buckley, Johnston, down towards McCormack. Ashman, goal coming up for Carlton, and it's a point to difference, and that's his third goal.
Thought the architect was Jimmy Buckley, who persevered with Billy Picken, and finally Carlton won that ball forward, and Ashman roved to Mackay perfectly.
The Blues by a point at the 6.5-minute mark in the final term.
And at the 20-minute mark of the third quarter, they were 21 points down and looked all but beaten.
Actually, 27 minutes. They were into time on, so it was only 2 time-on goals by Carlton that got them back in the third quarter to even be within sniffing distance.
But it's not over. How could it be? There's a point the difference.
Approaching the 7-minute mark in the last quarter, and the Blues with their noses in front by a point. Fitzpatrick wins the tap. Picken pulled off the ball, goes to McClure now. He drops the ball in the tackle. Umpire Dye says he was held but not in possession, and the free kick will go to Mark McClure from inside the centre square. Long kick. Still drizzling, steady rain falling. Knocked to the front of the pack. Oh, picked up by Marcoux. Ducks a high tackle. Hand pass intercepted by McCormack. Close to the boundary line, and we're going to have a baller.
Carlton looking dangerous again. 7.5 minutes gone. They lead 73-72. Mackay the ruck work. Collingwood looking to close it up. Ashman, snap. Goal, is it? No, I don't think so. Not this time. Crowd started to go up and I went with them.
He's dangerous.
Well, earlier in the game I criticised his selection, and still for a man who's dominated so much, he spent a lot of time on the bench, but 3 goals won is a great contribution in a 2-point lead.
Carlton lead by 2 points, 7 minutes into the final term. Bit of jostling going on. Tony Shaw. Johnston grabbed the ball. Well, I think Toomey was grabbed there for a second too. Taken by Tony Shaw. Goes through a haze of players. Picked up by McConville. McConville down towards... oh, great mark. Mackay. Play on the call. Play on the call. Buckley close to the boundary line. In fact, it's out now. About 30 metres away from Carlton's goal.
Seen many marks like that paid in the wet.
Here it is again. Just let's have a look at it closely. Used the body perfectly.
1, 2. Oh, he nearly had 3 possessions of that. And it's into the pocket, and Carlton working the ball forward. Another great chance to score. They lead by 2 points in this grand final.
Carlton in the teeth of goals. Well, clean possession McClure, but couldn't get boot to ball. Tony Shaw comes out. Handball close to the line and goes out. So still, Carlton in the forward pocket with a chance to score, and they lead 74-72 last quarter.
9 minutes gone. 20 minutes or so left. Mackay and Atkin. Marcoux. Byrne. Almost an interception by Buckley, and then a clean interception by Marcoux, forcing another throw-in. So we've seen about 4 of them between Carlton's right forward flank and the forward pocket in the last minute or 2. And again, it's Mackay and Atkin. Down to Johnston on his natural kicking foot. Hooks it badly. Through from behind. Carlton's lead is 3 points.
And Johnston 3 behinds, and that's Carlton's lead. Clock showing nearly 10 minutes. McCormack. Perovic. Bazasto. No, Perovic.
Mark has been paid. Paid to Perovic, I think.
That's unbelievable too.
Well, we're scratching our heads, and I think 100,000 plus are doing the same thing. Umpire Dye in the last 5 minutes or so has delivered some clangers.
13 kicks to Perovic. He's 65 metres out from goal when he kicks it. Oh, it's a good one too.
Oh.
It's going to beat the pack. Oh, Atkin, as lucky as you like. And the Blues lead by 4 points A very deceptive kick by Valperovic. Long and low, good in these conditions. Carlton 10-16, Collingwood 10-12.
McCormack towards the members' side. He can't kick as long as he was earlier in the game. Fitzpatrick, another fine mark. And he and Hunter have been brilliant in the air. 9 marks to Mike Fitzpatrick. The two West Australians absolutely superb in conditions which you wouldn't think would suit them. Here's Buckley. Oh, way off the side of the boot, out of bounds on the full. Marked by a man 50 rows back.
Bad kick then by Fitzpatrick. Buckley was in perfect position for the pass, but for some reason he chose Ashman, and Ashman was under a certain amount of pressure. Collingwood defence under pressure, and so is the Brains Trust. McCormack to half-back, Fitzpatrick up again. Fist on it, Lovell. Too slow, Shaw to the centre of the ground. McConville goes on with it. Good confident play by McConville. Had to put it down eventually. Now the chance on for Johnston and Marcoux. Johnston shepherds. Marcoux lines them up. And close. Behind. And Carlton lead by 5 points. And the goal umpire is not a popular man. But I think he was right.
Very close to going right over the top of the post.
Carlton 10-17, Collingwood 10-12. McCormack not getting a great deal of distance with his kicks in, but that's probably a bit better. Knock on by Collingwood, a chance for Davis, shepherding behind play. Oh, Davis fumbles in the wet. Dool doing a marathon performance out there. He's outnumbered 2-1. Does it well. Is caught with the ball eventually. In the meantime, Maitland's got time to come in. Picked up by Barham. Great defensive play by Bruce Dool. Held up play until Maitland got there on the far side wing.
Superb stuff. The goal kickers get all the plaudits, but well, really that was brilliant by Dool. Maitland's kick up towards half forward, and a chest mark to McClure going past him is Sheldon, easy as you like, down towards the forward pocket. Marcoux in the forward pocket.
Well, the Blues doing all the attacking, and they want to drive a couple of lengthy nails into the coffin that they have prepared for Collingwood. But at the moment, Collingwood thrashing around in that coffin violently, and they're not giving up without a struggle. Ashman. McClure has got it. 40 metres out directly in front. And this is a big chance for Carlton. They lead by 5 points, and McClure should make it 11. He's kicked one. 10th kick. Is a goal. Carlton by 11 points at the 13.5-minute mark of the last quarter. Perfectly placed kick then for McClure. Had front position on McCormack, one of the few times he's beaten him one out. And that is a crucial goal, but the game's still very much alive.
And Peter Moore back on the ball for Collingwood. This is Collingwood's last-ditch stand.
It's interesting to note that since that purple patch by Collingwood, where they established a 21-point lead, Carlton have come back and have kicked 5-4 to Collingwood's 2 points since then.
Well, the Carlton Brains Trust on edge.
Right, Peter Moore and Fitzpatrick. Moore nullifies him. Buckley grabbed, and hand pass out of the pack. It goes to nobody. Collingwood trying to work the ball on. Carlton player there trying to maintain possession, which he does. A ball up on Collingwood's attacking side of the centre circle. Carlton 83, Collingwood 72. Irwin, but it goes to Toomey. No Collingwood players there at all. Dool easily. And Carlton on top now. Bazasto. McClure. On to Maitland, in trouble. Good play by Collingwood's Toomey. Fitzpatrick. Collingwood through Taylor. It's all Carlton. Dool. Dacos. Hunter.
Oh, brilliant.
Beautifully done, Hunter. Loves these conditions. Good kick too. A free kick against Fitzpatrick to be taken by Ray Shaw. And if the Magpies ever needed anything inspiring from the player, they need it from Ray Shaw, who's been quiet today. Craig Davis, no, punched away. Dool, there's nobody out there at all. Harms gets a good bounce. Loose man is Sheldon, or Marcoux in fact. Over the top to Bazasto. Wells it was, down towards full forward, and a Collingwood mark in defence taken by Cooper. He's got to play on. He's been told to play on, and Pickens in trouble. Out wide to Toomey. No, he's going up the ground. Up towards Peter Moore. Peter Moore. Oh, he's going to take time. Yes, kicking towards centre half forward. Perovic. Attempted knock on by Stewart. But Carlton showing their class now. Rock hard.
Carlton lead by 11 points, 16 minutes into the last quarter. 14th kick to Val Perovic to half-forward flank. Fitzpatrick.
Colossus in this last quarter.
Brilliant. Buckley on to Glasgow. Wide out from the practice wicket area. Mackay's a chance. And Ashman, they raffle it. No mark paid. Out of the pack. Across the face of goal. Still in play. Pizzusto chases hard for it, but can't reach it. And there'll be a boundary throw in the right forward pocket. Carlton attacking, leading 11-17 to 10-12.
16 minutes gone. More in ruck for Collingwood against Mackay. Gets it down. Pizzusto's done nothing for the Blues, but fights hard for the ball. And forces a ball up. 40 metres away from Carlton's goal. And they're really looking for another one to give them a very substantial break. Moore too good in the ruck, but straight to Sheldon. Well tackled. Johnston backwards to Glasgow was good play under pressure. Oh, he could have popped it to Marcoux, but went long. Now Taylor out on the full. And this represents a big chance for the Blues. Good tackle by Marcoux. And Johnston gets in there quickly. He wanted it because he's a natural left foot kick. But Marcoux will have to take it. And although he's in the difficult forward pocket for a right footer, here's a lovely shot for goal. A lead in the square, which he ignores. He's having a shot. Banana kick. Is out on the full. Free kick to Collingwood. Even a behind would have been handy because it would have given Carlton a clear 2-kick lead.
The 1981 season championship round. Carlton 83, Collingwood 72. Carlton, Harms punched away. Way short, bit slow, onto Peter Moore. Probably wasn't his best target. Johnston grabbed. Taylor again. No, it was Cooper, in fact. Malin out to Johnston, outnumbered 3-1, but Marcoux's calling for it. He gives it to Buckley. Buckley to Wells. Oh, he held it far too long. Collingwood will clear, pushed in the back. No, a boundary throw in, and valuable time wasting by Carlton. They've had the game bottled up on their right and left half-forward flanks for such a long time in this last quarter. Carlton played grab without possession. Toomey. Oh, Peter Moore grabbed. He didn't have it. And out in the full. And it's going Carlton's way to be taken by Pizzusto.
It's unlucky for Collingwood then. Pizzusto knocked it onto the shins of Ray Shaw, and it went from his shins out of bounds.
Collingwood need 2 kicks. They're running out of time. But who says that Pizzusto may not kick this one? He won't. Johnston, so is Moore going up, thumps the ball away. Who's in front of the pack? Oh, it's Wells. He had it spent. Grabbed. Had plenty of opportunity and the right decision there. Taylor.
Gee, really impressed with this Mick Taylor. He's played a top game for Collingwood. Over the top he goes with the hand pass close to the line. McCormack under pressure, bumbles it along the ground. The ball goes out of play. On the full.
Against Barham. Off his shoelace.
And the free kick going to Phil Malin. Carlton lead by 11 points, approaching the 20-minute mark. Oh, it's right down into the pocket, nowhere near the goal square. Picken in front. A couple of grabs, ball off his hands out of bounds, and another throw-in.
19.5 minutes, almost, as you can see. Carlton by 11 points, doing all the attacking, but they just cannot put Collingwood away. Collingwood will never say die. Snap, Marcoux! Out on the... No, behind. And now the margin is 2 straight kicks in Carlton's favour, 84-72.
Not a big scoring quarter from time-on point of view, but the ball has been dead for a long time during the quarter, as it is now. Collingwood chief goal kicker, Ricky Barham, along with Mark Williams with 2 apiece. Ashman 3 for Carlton, McClure and Sheldon 2 each. McCormack. They did a high mark from Stewart, but they don't get it there. Taylor. There's Stewart, onto Tony Shaw. And towards Dacos. Oh, duel collides, but McConville tidies up with Harms nicely. Off the kick, up towards Marcoux. And Carlton now showing their wares. Short one into Mackay. Good play. If only time wasting, but they're working the ball forward. Peter Moore dropping back.
He's having a shot and he can kick the ball a long way.
A long way. This will be the sealer if he gets it. And it is the sealer. Mackay's second goal. And the Magpies going down yet again in a VFL Grand Final. Carlton 12-18. Collingwood 10-12. The Magpies have been worthy opponents for the class of Carlton since the 26-minute mark in the third quarter, when they've been supremely on top. The class has taken right over from the battling Magpie team.
Gee, Peter, don't write them off. 3 goals the difference. 21, just over 21 minutes gone.
Remember that game at Princess Park against Essendon?
Yeah, and they came back from the dead a couple of weeks ago against Fitzroy. Here's Dacos sweeping them into attack. Stewart bumped aside by Perovic. Through the legs of Harms. Perovic comes in again. Buckley. Back towards the back pocket for Carlton, and that will be a baller. There's plenty of time for Collingwood to win it.
They haven't kicked a goal in this last quarter. When they kick them, they get them in bursts. So if they get one, watch out for 1 or 2 more. Stewart in ruck against Fitzpatrick. Atkin there too. But Atkins clean knockers straight over the line. Collingwood deep in attack. And Tommy Hafey frantically relaying instructions to his brother Peter. Would love to be a fly on the wall there at the moment. Beautiful knock by Fitzpatrick, who has dominated. Buckley and Carlton gain 50 metres with a good left foot kick. McClure and Picken. Bezusto there too, and Toomey. And the throw in just a shade Collingwood's attacking side of centre wing. 22 minutes and a quarter gone. Carlton by 18 points.
The quarter should go about 28 minutes, although the ball, as I said, has been out of bounds and dead quite a lot during this quarter. But in these conditions where only light rain is falling now, it's going to be extremely hard to score 3 goals. Buckley underneath it. Kink comes in. He really has to slip himself, but he doesn't. Picked up by Wells, relishing this situation. Byrne underneath it. Well, he doesn't even take the mark. And he'll rue that for a while, especially if he can score a goal here. Johnston, Bezusto are behind, but that makes it 4 shots. And impossible for Collingwood to win their first grand final since 1958. That was the nail. That behind by Carlton's Bezusto.
Collingwood led by 2 points at quarter time. The Blues by 1 point at half time. And then after Collingwood had led by 21 points in the third quarter, Carlton narrowed it to 9 points. So Collingwood went into the last quarter leading by 9 points. And now they trail by 19. Carlton with only 11 players from their premiership 20 of 2 years ago. Big kick towards the centre square. Off the hands, Buckley. Long kick straight back from where it came, over the head of McCormack. But it bounces out of bounds for throw-in.
23.5 minutes gone. And the Blues willing the clock to go faster now because they're almost there. A 19-point lead is certainly going to be difficult to peg back for the Woods now. Goalless in this last quarter. Bezusto, the big leaper, is penalised for jumping into the back of an opponent. Peter Moore takes the free and gives it to Dacos. To halfback. And Barham, a star in the first half, but a fading star in the second. Kicks to centre wing. McConville from behind Kink did well and forces a throw in. Just Collingwood's attacking side of centre wing position. And we're into the 25th minute now of the last quarter. But as Peter said, there will be a fair amount of time on because of the time it's taken to retrieve footballs.
There's Stewart and Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick and Hunter, the real stars for Carlton today. And as I mention his name, there he flashes into the screen. Moore gets a high bounce, slips over on the practice wicket area. Bezusto wasting time, and well he might. Carlton 12-19, 91, Collingwood 10-12, 72. The Magpies had a real run just before three-quarter time when they led by 21 points. But Carlton came back just before the three-quarter way mark to kick a couple of goals and make the difference at the turn. Only 9 points. They've been well on top in this term now. Wells, high tackle. A ball out of bounds once again.
Into time on by 13 seconds. And 9 more scoring shots, Carlton. Their lead, 19 points. High kick down towards the forward pocket. Ashman there, spoiled by Cooper, who hasn't been the star that he was last week. And the ball out of bounds. Carlton still attacking as they've done for most of this last quarter. Collingwood 5 grand finals since Tom Hafey went there, and without a win so far, and it's heading towards that way again. Here's Stewart up towards half forward, all Carlton. Dual flew high, comes to the back. Collingwood haven't managed a goal in the last quarter. McConville to Harms, and Carlton happy to see the ball out of play.
26 minutes gone. Ross Brewer, the only man in clean shorts. And it's a kick and a bit from Collingwood's goal. They're 3 and a bit kicks behind. Free kick to Fitzpatrick, who one would have to find many superlatives for over his performance today. It has been absolutely magnificent. And the thing that's impressed me most is when the chips were down for Carlton, that's when Mike Fitzpatrick really lifted. Carlton back into their attacking half again. McClure inside nicely. Buckley, who's done well in this last quarter, to half forward. Still in play. Mackay a bit tardy in getting rid of it. Down goes McCormack, ball held to him. And a ball up 30 metres out from Collingwood's goal front. And Wes Lofts in the middle, slightly more relaxed, but I'm sure David Parkin on the phone is still very much on edge.
Kevin Hall and Serge Silvani making up the brains trust of Carlton. The truster was worried earlier today. Irwin tripped. Will get the free kick at centre half back. Carlton 91, Collingwood 72. Kick number 12 to Warwick Irwin. Probably hasn't been the hard ball getter and the big kick getter that the Magpies expected when he came across from Carlton, from Fitzroy, and that's Malin. Hasn't played all that well. Barham took him apart up until half-time, but it's been pretty much a non-event out there since then. Buzasto. 27 minutes. Rain still falling at the MCG. Fitzpatrick. Moore dropping back. Out of confidence completely. McCormack, Collingwood's best defender along with Pickin. Level. On to Tony Shaw. The Magpies have rarely got the ball past that point this quarter. And that point is wide on the half-back line, or on their half-forward flank. Buzasto was going for a leisurely walk in the park.
You might remember Mike Fitzpatrick. He got a move on then.
There's Wayne Johnston taking a mark just inside the line. Centre wing. Clock about 28 minutes in the last quarter. And Carlton have the game won. Johnston's kick. Big pack of players up at half forward. And a defensive mark to Craig Davis. No time for Collingwood now. Davis's kick towards the centre. McConville a mark. Great for David Parkin. He took on Hawthorn, a ready-made team, to win a flag in '78. He came to Carlton 1 year and 2 days ago with a ready-made team, and he's going to coach them to a flag in his first year. Tony Shaw out of defence. On to Taylor, and he's been fine for Collingwood. Off the hands it goes to Harms, who's had some brilliant dashes from the half-back flank. No exception. What a kick. It skims on the wet grass, but it was offline all the way, and a throw-in.
29 minutes gone, final term. Only 4 goals kicked in the quarter, all by Carlton, so the siren could only be seconds away. And the Blues have marched to their 13th flag, joining Collingwood on that pinnacle. Moore taking it out of the air. Chance for Buckley. Offline, 1 behind. And Carlton's lead is 20 points. And who would have thought this at the 27-minute mark of the third quarter, when a confident Collingwood had kicked away to a 21-point lead.
The finals matches, even the light training this week at Collingwood. It doesn't matter, it's taken its toll. They've stopped to a walk since three-quarter time, Collingwood. Buzasto across the pack. Stewart's been fairly disappointing today. Buzasto tunnelling the ball out, delaying it just a fraction. Out to McClure. A ball up wide of centre half forward. And that's it. Carlton has won the 1981 Grand Final. 13 premierships in the club's history. The final score, Carlton 12-20-92 have defeated Collingwood by 20 points, 10-12-72.
History made by the Blues, because since the late 1920s, when Collingwood won their 9th flag, they have always held outright the record for the most VFL premierships. But Carlton today have joined them on 13.
David Parkin in the thick of things there. He considered himself an outsider at Carlton until only about 3 or 4 weeks ago. And he reckoned that the players were calling him the bloke from Hawthorn. And the players, after a finals match, or 2 weeks ago, in fact, at VFL Park, the players all sang happy birthday to David Parkin when they won the second semi-final on his 39th birthday. And he really felt a Carlton man. And there he is at the back in the middle, David Parkin.
And Ian Rice embracing his skipper, Mike Fitzpatrick, Carlton president, troubleshooter who came to the club in a time of crisis.
Well, he embraced Mike Fitzpatrick because whatever the team is worth collectively, Mike Fitzpatrick has been a tower of strength out there today.
Tommy Hafey is coming down the race onto the ground. Normally, in recent times of defeat, he's been out with his players much sooner than this. And very slowly, he walks across the ground to greet him, first of all, his brother Peter, whom you'll see in just a moment. Then the Collingwood players.
Wes Lofts in there, chairman of selectors.
I guess that's the first of 1 million times tonight that song will be sung.
Tell you who's out there, Tony Barber. Yeah, Rice is nearly crying.
He is crying.
How many premierships has David Mackay played in? About 4. Just there, that disaster. Have a look at that cap. Fitzpatrick will get the medal, no problem.
Brian Quirk there on a jumper.
Tommy Laugh.
Speaking to Rodney Ashman, a great contributor. In fact, his tally on one leg represented nearly the
difference. What was the difference?
20 points, he scored 19.
19, yep.
And the Collingwood team winning their way across the ground towards the main area that you can see now. I was going to say to join in the presentation, but maybe just to fringe it. What went wrong after three-quarter time? Ron Kingston, Ron Richards, Peter and Tom Hafey, Collingwood's fitness advisor. A familiar pose by Tom Hafey. All the Carlton officials out on the ground. I dare say there'll be nobody in the dressing room at this stage. But wait, about 7 or 8 minutes' time. There'll be champagne, corks are popping. Prime Minister, no doubt, will be in there.
Ali,
Here's
I
the
would
presentation.
like to congratulate all players of all clubs. Commiserations to the Collingwood players today. There's no doubt that their performance was a very, very good one. Congratulations to the Carlton Club on winning their 13th on winning their 13th premiership. It was a great effort by the 40 players on the ground today and to all concerned with the grand final match. It's my duty now to announce the winner of the Norm Smith Medal. The medal goes to Bruce Dool. Just collect it. And to make the presentation, Mr. Peter Smith.
Well done, Bruce. Well done, yeah, wonderful.
Well done. His Excellency, the Governor of Victoria and patron of the Victorian Football League, the Honourable Sir Henry Winnicky, will make the presentation of the medallions to the runners-up, the 20 Collingwood players and the coach. Please acknowledge the Collingwood players.